And what has life been like after running? Even though I did see you just ran a marathon as well. Maybe not after running, while you
Yeah.
run.
The beautiful thing about running is that it can be a lifelong sport. It's something that you can do with a group or by yourself anywhere. And so I'm grateful to be in love with a sport that offers that variety. But I will say that my relationship with sport has had to evolve. When I started as a high schooler, it was kind of on a whim because my friends were doing it. So it was more of the social desire to be part of the group. Then I continued running in college because it was an opportunity. I could get a college scholarship, which was huge for me. And then when I went pro, honestly, one of the coolest things that attracted me to professional running was the fact that I would get to travel all over the world and race in these huge stadiums in major cities. And so it was more like the idea of the lifestyle was one that I was really excited about in my 20s. And then in my 30s, when I was still competing but had my first kid, I came up against a sporting world that had not made space for mothers. Um, my shoe contract, about 4 months postpartum, I got a call that they had a right to reduce me by 40% because I wouldn't be ranked top five in the world. And then I also was facing a loss of health insurance because as track and field athletes, we're all contractors with our shoe companies and we have to earn our health insurance through performance. And so I wasn't racing. And so that meant I could lose health insurance not only for me now, but also for my child. And when I went then into that, so a lot of the work, and we'll probably dig into it later, but a lot of the work that I did around kind of women's sports and advocacy had been an undercurrent of my master's was in humanities with an emphasis on film studies and women's studies. And I didn't know what I was like, why or what I was going to do with that, but those were two areas I was really interested in. And so when you ask about, that transition, and that evolution, for me, my relationship with running has evolved. When I stopped competing professionally, I took probably a year and a half away from running because I was so heartbroken by the business of sport, navigating shoe contracts, navigating health insurance, navigating doping in sport, like the business of sport was not at all what I expected it to be. And that was really hard. Um, but after about a year and a half, I started realizing that my relationship to running could evolve and that what I loved about running, that kind of core innocence was twofold: the ability to connect my mind with my body